Welcome back to the hidden side of Japan's folklore. Today, we continue our journey through 5 more yokai you've probably never heard of, but won't soon forget. Number 1. Ninmenju. Far from the cities, beyond the paths travelers usually take, there is said to be a valley where no birds sing, no wind stirs, only the sound of soft, eerie laughter carried on the breeze. There, nestled in the mountains, grows a tree unlike any other in Japan's natural world. It is called Ninmenju, the human-faced tree. Its branches bear blossoms that are not flowers, but tiny human heads. Their eyes stay closed. Their mouths curve into knowing grins. They cannot speak, yet they laugh, quietly, almost mockingly. In autumn, these blossoms give way to fruit, still shaped like human faces, but heavier, more lifelike. They taste sweet and sour, like spoiled citrus, and when picked, they sometimes sigh, as if disappointed. The tree is playful in its way. If you laugh at it, the heads will laugh with you. But laugh too hard, and they die. One by one, the smiling faces wilt, fall, and rot into the soil. The Ninmenju first appeared in the Wakan Sansai Zue, an Edo period encyclopedia of nature and the supernatural. But even then, it wasn't truly Japanese. Its roots, like the legends of the Silk Road, stretch far beyond. Before it was Ninmenju, it appeared in Sankai Tuhui, a 17th century Chinese compendium. And before that, the story may have originated from lands far to the west, Daishikoku, the so-called Great Food Country, a mysterious foreign land once thought to lie beyond the Islamic world. In Arabic and Persian lore, the wak-wak tree grew on a mythical island off the coast of Africa, near the legendary land of Zanj, now known as Zanzibar. It bore not only human fruit, but fruit that could speak. And it was said that one such tree even foretold the death of Alexander the Great. Through centuries of trade, stories drifting from Arabia to Persia, Persia to China, China to Japan, the myth took root. And in Japan, it bloomed into the laughing, silent horror that is the Ninmenju. No one knows where the original tree stands, if it ever did. But the idea of it persists. A tree that smiles back, a forest that laughs without joy, a blossom shaped like your own face, silently watching you from above. The Ninmenju is not loud. It does not chase or harm, but it unsettles. It stares with your own grin, and it makes you wonder. If you were a fruit on a tree, ripened, silent, helpless, what would your last expression be? Number 2, Aonyobo. In Japan's countryside, the ruins of old villas still dot the hills, crumbled estates that once rang with laughter, music, and poetry. But time is cruel to beauty, and nobility fades like autumn leaves. Yet in some of these empty homes, something remains, something forgotten, something waiting. She is called Aonyobo, the Blue Lady. Once she was a nyobo, a court lady of the Heian period, when refinement meant survival. A noble woman adorned in layer upon layer of exquisite silk, her face powdered white, her eyebrows painted high on the forehead, her teeth dyed black in the fashion of imperial elegance. But she was not among the favored. She was not chosen, not wed, not loved. And so she waited. Now, centuries later, she still waits. Within the decaying walls of fallen mansions and abandoned villas, the Aonyobo lingers. She prepares herself each day, painting a face already withered, adjusting robes that rot in the shadows, perfecting an image no one will ever see. She waits for the husband who never returned, the suitor who never arrived, the future that never came. And should someone stumble into her home, drawn by curiosity, by mischief or by misfortune, they are not greeted with hospitality. She devours them whole. Afterward, she returns to her mirror, her ritual, her mourning. In life, the Nyobo were seen as the pinnacle of grace, educated, poised to marry into high society. But not every court lady found favor. Some were too plain, others too poor, a few simply unlucky. These women, who were seen as green or immature, unworthy, became known as blue women. The term Ao, blue, doesn't refer to their skin, but their fate. It was the color of inexperience, of failure, of those who tried and were never seen. And when they died, bitterness turned them monstrous. The Aonyobo is not born from hatred, but from longing stretched thin across centuries. She is vanity made tragic, a ghost who can't accept the silence of her own life. She doesn't scream, she doesn't chase, she only waits and paints and hopes. In ruins, she is royalty. In shadows, she is beautiful. And in the mind, she lingers. Number 3, Sazai Oni. The sea is a place of wonder, of beauty, and of secrets best left undisturbed. In the coastal waters of Japan, where the waves kiss lonely rocks and forgotten coves, a demon dances across the surface. Graceful, seductive, deadly. She is the Sazai Oni, the turban snail demon. By day she may lie hidden in the depths, wrapped in her ancient shell. But by night, she rises. Sometimes she dances upon the waves like a spirit of the ocean. Other times, she takes the form of a beautiful woman, soaked and shivering, crying out for help. For fishermen and pirates, this is the oldest trick in the book. And it still works. The sailors lean over the side. A hand reaches out. They haul her aboard, drawn not by compassion, but by desire. But they don't bring a woman onto their ship. They bring a curse. That night, she moves silently from cabin to cabin, visiting each pirate who wronged her. And one by one, she takes something. Not their lives. Not yet. Just a piece of them. The same piece. By morning, she stands at the bow, holding a net full of treasure. The pirates' testicles, what the Japanese call their golden balls, and she offers them a deal, all their stolen gold, in exchange for what she has stolen from them. They accept. They always do. But where does such a creature come from? Some say the Sazai Oni begins life as a simple sea snail, and if it survives for 30 years in the ocean's crushing depths, it transforms, gaining shape-shifting powers and a cruel, cunning mind. Others whisper of a darker origin, that when a woman, young and full of lust, is cast into the sea, betrayed or punished, she transforms into a snail. And if her bitterness grows deep enough, she becomes a Sazai Oni. She becomes vengeance given flesh. Even on land, the danger follows. A lone woman may knock at the door of an inn near the shore, her robes soaked, her smile coy. The next morning, the innkeeper is gone, or found half-eaten in his bed. By then the woman is already gone, back to the ocean, where the waves erase all trace of her passage. The Sazai Oni is not just a monster. She is a force, a reckoning, a reminder that the sea takes as much as it gives, and sometimes it remembers what you owe. So if you sail under the moonlight and hear a woman's cry from the waves, think twice before you reach out your hand. It may be the last time you hold on to anything. Number 4, Takaonna. In the glow of red lanterns, down the narrow alleys of Japan's old pleasure districts, Desire whispered behind sliding doors and paper-thin walls. These were places where the line between love, longing, and loneliness blurred. And in the shadows just beyond that line stood a figure, watching, stretching, reaching. She is called Takaona, the tall woman. But she was not always so tall, nor so strange. Once she was ordinary, a woman like any other, but considered too plain, too homely to find a husband, or even work within the pleasure houses she lingered near. Rejected, dismissed, and forgotten. Her yearning for affection, for intimacy, curdled into bitterness. And in that loneliness, something monstrous grew. Her body began to change. Her form could stretch, grotesquely, endlessly, her limbs and neck elongating like a nightmare drawn out on parchment. She would rise up, stories high, to peer into second-story windows where couples embraced, where men and women found the connection she never did. She rarely harms those she watches, but she does enjoy unsettling them. A sudden tapping at the glass on the second floor, a shadow that lingers far too long, a face where no one should be. She has become the specter of envy, drawn to places where bodies intertwine, reminding those within that someone or something is always watching. Those who see her never forget the feeling of being watched, not by something evil, but by someone left behind. Her legend grew in the Yukaku, the red light quarters of Edo, and like all ghosts of loneliness, she stretched beyond them. Takaona doesn't scream, she doesn't run. She just rises, slowly, until you can't ignore her anymore. Number 5. Dodomeki. In the woven fabric of Japanese folklore, some stories are embroidered in fear, others in shame. This is one such tale, a story of theft, transformation, and being watched forever. In the crowded markets of Edo, theft was common. A quick hand, a missing coin, gone before you noticed. They called her a woman with long arms, a thief in the language of the streets, but fate had a longer memory. Her crimes caught up with her not in chains, but in flesh. From her arms grew eyes, small, wet, unblinking. Dozens, then hundreds. The copper coins she stole were called dosen, bird's eyes, for the hole that stared out from their center. Now her arms bore them literally, eyes born from greed, from guilt, from karma carved into skin. She became Dodomeki, not chased, not hunted, just noticed. Always watching, never forgotten. Some say her eyes whisper, that they remember what they've seen, that they see things even you've forgotten. Others believe they show glimpses of what's still to come. But one truth holds. When Dodomeki looks at you, she sees everything. Her curse was not isolation, it was exposure. She carries her crimes on her skin, 100 confessions, and no way to hide. She stole in secret, but now she sees for everyone. The price of greed never blinks. These yokai may be forgotten by time, but they still linger in shadow, in silence, and in stories like these. If you've enjoyed this journey into the strange side of Japanese folklore, don't forget to subscribe for more tales that walk the line between myth and memory. There are still many more yokai hidden in the mist, and we're just getting started.